So one style of crash that comes up with motorcycles that we don't see with cars is the no-contact crash. And that can occur, if you ride bikes, you know about this. It can occur when somebody either pulls out from a stop sign directly in front of you, or a driver coming through the other side of the intersection makes a left turn in front of you, and you miss the car by turning to the left, to the right, and laying your bike down. This happens all the time in auto cases, but it doesn't cause injuries because you haven't laid the bike down and you haven't flung yourself to the ground in the same way that you do with a motorcycle. So the question is, if you have one of those close call crashes and there's no contact with you and the other car, can the other driver still be held responsible for the injuries that you suffered? And the answer is yes. So to have a successful personal injury suit, what you have to have is a couple of things. You have to have a duty on the part of the other driver, a breach of that duty. That breach has to be the proximate cause of your injuries, and of course you have to be injured. And so let's take the example of somebody coming in the opposite direction and failing to yield to you on the left turn. They had a duty to watch for oncoming traffic, to be aware of the other cars on the road, and to not enter out into the intersection at a time where it's unsafe to do so. Obviously, they breached that duty because they came right in front of you, even though you had a green ball and they had a green ball also. And they were the proximate cause of your injuries because had they not done that, you wouldn't have had to lay the bike down and scraped yourself up all over the road. And of course, again, you were injured. So the fact that they were the proximate cause of you having to put the bike down makes them liable for the crash. Now, what happens in that kind of crash is that often the other driver will leave the scene because either he doesn't realize what he's done, or he hasn't been in a crash with you, and so he's got an opportunity to leave. If that happens, you have what's called a John Doe case against the driver. He's an unknown driver if we never catch him, and your underinsured motorist carrier would be responsible for that crash. You have a couple of obligations in cases like that. Number one, you have to report it to the police or to your auto carrier, motorcycle carrier, within a reasonable period of time. You can't wait 6 months and then say, oh, I was in this crash, and then expect them to honor that claim. You have duties under your contract with your auto insurance company to make that claim in a timely manner. And it's of course, it's important to get in the contact information of any witnesses that are in the area. Make a police report as soon as you can. % success rate on the recorded statement.
They don't know they don't know they can avoid it.
Right. And so, yeah, so let's talk about that. So number one, no requirement that you give a recorded statement. And an insurance company can't hold your property damage claim